And so, there that is.
Will you give us that grid basically on the test too?
Yeah,
Okay.
If you look at some of the older tests, it was a little bit more freeform, and eventually I just formalized it and I give the grid.
Work.
So in case I hadn't mentioned it, this is the last problem of the next test. Expected.
This is kind of fun. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah, just wait till we get to AC circuits. And then there's two completely different techniques.
This seems like more straightforward algebra than the other stuff. The other stuff, you're like matching equations to each one. This is just like problem solve, answer.
Yeah, it is nice and straightforward in that way. The downside is so many places to mess up a minus sign. And you might get to a point where you get an answer and you wanna check just because you wanna feel really good that you got it right, and you go back and check it at several different ways, and you find you got a difference, and now you're going with, how much time do I wanna spend trying to figure out if there's a minus sign in the wrong spot, or whether it's just fundamentally off.
Is this more closely associated with electrical engineering?
Circuit design and circuit analysis is electrical engineering. And this is, and you get to far more sophisticated techniques if you go into electrical engineering, and obviously, potentially not stupid designs with 3 batteries in it, where the batteries are fighting against each other. I would assume not. All right, so we do need to take a moment here to talk about quizzes and what chapters I've actually finished. Grab my book. All right, so 27 was the capacitors. '28 was the current and resistance, Ohm's law, and then 29, this is 29. So we basically finished the material. Here's my proposal. So 27, 28, 29. Oh, today's the 22nd, so this is March 1st? Is that next Tuesday? Let's do the quiz on 27. Let's make the master set due on Thursday, so master set 27. And then I'm thinking 3/8. Oh, wait, when is spring break?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And are we doing both quizzes for 27? The flash quiz and the homework
Yeah.
quiz? Okay.
Yeah. Wait, 27 is this material. Is somebody looking up?
That's loading.
Yeah, it's not loading very fast on mine.
Move it at the speed of business. All right, I guess we'll play the next one by ear. I'm gonna combine, I'm thinking of combining the quizzes for 28 and 29 together. I will, 29. The quiz for 29, is that the one I tell in advance? Yeah, the quiz for 29 will be, is it 40 or 42? One of those two is assigned. Oh, I think I have a way I can look it up. Well, I'll tell you what, when we establish it next week, I'll tell you which problem, sort of 29, I will tell you which problem it's gonna be. And it's gonna be something similar to this, not that one.
The 15th and the 17th.
Okay. So I'm thinking quiz on 28 and 29. And, then we got the master sets, we've got the test before spring break or test after spring break.
Can we do after?
I have no problem with that, it's just some people like hitting it while the iron's hot. Any objection to wait until afterwards for the next test? If you have some special circumstance and you wanna take it beforehand, just talk to me and figure something out. All right, why don't I hand back other tests?
What chapters is the second test?
The 27, 28, 29.
Okay.
Because 30, yeah, gets into magnetism.
And we're not doing them, are we doing a master set for 28 and 29?
That's my thinking at the moment. I figured Thursday we can establish that if we have to, but at least 27 quiz, the flash and homework quiz, a week from today, master set due a week from Thursday. And you probably don't want the 110 assignments.
So what's the difference between like 151 and 251? And then like 152 and 252?
The calculus. There's, especially when we get to magnetism, there's some equations that we derive in here because we got the calculus to do it. And for them, it's that, here's the situation, here's the equation. It involves calculus to get there, trust me. Or energy, deriving the energy for gravitational potential energy or electrical potential energy, I can't derive it for them.
Missing out on all the fun.
And that last problem where find the electric field and the electric potential for one of these shapes, that can't be a question for them, because for calculus. Test corrections, I typically say back in 2 weeks. If you can't get it to me in 2 weeks, just let me know when I am gonna see it. But I don't want it hanging over your head till April. It just, especially end of April, I just don't want that big thing. With this grade in, all of you at this point can not do any better than an A, and none of you can do worse than an F. So it has narrowed the grade down to, well, pretty much the same thing as it was before. The shock-proof nature of the grading system.
Wait, you said none of us can get an A or below an
You,
F?
no, you can't get above an A,
Oh, okay.
and you can't get below an F.
Well, that's gonna be the 22nd.
Pardon?
That's gonna be the 22nd.
The, oh, I didn't actually establish the exact date. My inclination is to do it on a Thursday instead of the Tuesday after we get back. Personally, I don't like the test right after coming back from a vacation, but I have had students go for that before, so if you wanna do it that Tuesday after getting back, I have no problem with that. In terms of grading, I typically grade the first test more harshly than the last test, because I know you can do test corrections. It's not like I drop you down on letter grade, but for the last test, because there are no test corrections, I tend to take that into account. Oh, it wasn't due yet, but I went ahead and graded it. And then I've got the master set 26.
Can you go over again, like how many points we can get back from the, is it like half points or?
If you got an F, you can bring your grade up to a C. If you got an A, you can bring it up to an A+, and then it's scaled from that. If you got a C on it, you can bring it up to a 3.15, which is a B+ or B, it's somewhere in that range right there. Joseph. H. I think this is yours, Faith, but did you have the yellow highlight? Is that you?
About-
Oh, yeah, there it is. I looked before, didn't see
If
it.
you get an F up to a C.
And that, I just have the last one for Enrique,
From a C to a
and that's it.
And
Okay? Okay.
That's it, or?
Yeah, oh, yeah, we're done, sorry.
Okay.
You had that look of,
I thought it was something else.
no, no. Sorry to hold you in suspense like that.
I'm trying to find out about the grading, is it like